What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
What kind of ignorant shit is that?
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
You idiot, you fool!
Hey, dummy!
This is the Ignorance is Blessed podcast.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Hey idiots, it's me. I am back for another solo episode of the podcast, and I'm fucking pissed. I'm so fucking pissed. I've had a headache for a week. I don't know how much is the smoke in the air and how much is the smoke everyone's trying to blow up our asses with the news and the media and Elon Musk being a Nazi. I cannot believe anyone is trying to spin it as anything else. It's a fucking Nazi salute. If you didn't see the news, there's no way that you're listening to this and don't know what I'm talking about. But at the inauguration, Elon Musk came on stage at some point and twice he hits his chest. I mean, you could find the whole video. He does a Nazi salute. And by the way, his response, there's so much I want to say about this. I'm so fucking pissed. Here's what I'm most pissed about. I could take a regular citizen who is Republican because they're Republican like it's a sports team, like most people who are either party. And let me be clear, as if I haven't said this enough, in case this for some reason is the first episode you're stumbling upon, I am registered with no party preference. I have been independent forever. I have oscillated on several occasions between the types of candidates I like based on the things I care about. And at the end of the day, I think most major politicians are corrupt pieces of shit. I think both major political parties are absolutely raping us in our assholes. And I don't trust the Democrats any more than I trust the Republicans in terms of actually giving a shit about the people. I can't believe I have to keep giving that disclaimer. I can't believe anyone else doesn't feel the same way. But good for you for being tucked away in your little cocoon where you read your news source that caters to the things you like and feeds the part of you that likes to get angry about the thing you don't like and yada, yada, yada. Back to what I was saying, I could take a regular, your Uncle Joe family member going, well, he probably meant something. I don't think that's what was trying to go on there. I think, I don't think that's what he meant. I could take a regular person going, I don't think that's what he meant after seeing that clip. That I could take. What I can't take is not just regular people. People of influence, news outlets, and by the way, especially fucking comedians. Especially bigger comedians. Now listen, I will die on the hill of, I do not think it's a comedian's job to start a revolution, to be the voice of a generation. I think first and foremost, our job is to be funny. So if there's comedians not even mentioning what's going on in the news and continuing to do their act about how umbrellas are crazy, oh my God, you're never going to believe what happened on my roof. I don't begrudge them that. That, at the end of the day, our job is to be funny. That's number one. And anyone saying anything else, shut the fuck up. We're not, people have to be like, we're philosophers. And yeah, there can be that tied into it. There is social commentary and tied into a lot of comedians' stuff. I have social commentary. It's usually not political. And frankly, I'm fucking mad that I'm talking about politics. But as a comedian, I do think if we are going to talk about what's going on in society, what's going on in politics, what's going on in the world, part of our job is to call it like it is and call bullshit on stuff. I think that is true. I think that's what a comedian should be doing. So if someone were taking the angle of, yes, it was a Nazi salute, but also it does look like the way we impersonated mentally challenged people in the 90s, so maybe it's just that. Maybe he's just severely challenged. They'd probably get in trouble for that, but that would be an angle, I guess. The people going, this is taken out of context, like we can't all see the whole fucking clip. And then the people flat out being like, you really think that's a Nazi salute? Is that, oh my God, come on, you think that that's what the Nazis did? Don't piss on my shoes and then tell me it's raining, you stupid fucks. It's a Nazi salute. Sure, maybe it's been used for other things. The Romans, it's a Roman salute. It's actually the Romans did it. The Romans did do it first. And then you know who borrowed that from the Romans? Mussolini. He popularized it again in 1920, and then it was commandeered by the fascist movement with Hitler. And it's most famously known, the thing that anyone of this generation has seen that portrayed as, especially someone who is such a mogul, who clearly is obsessed with media, so obsessed that he bought a social media outlet just so he could make people look at him. Like Elon Musk. You know that that's a Nazi symbol. You know that's a Nazi salute. Then I'm seeing articles. I'm seeing the fucking dumbest shit I've ever seen. Like, and yeah, it's like the fact that we expect this guy, because he's a millionaire, multi-billionaire, 100 billionaire, richest guy in the world. The people expect him to be smart is one thing that's mind-boggling. More importantly, the people like expect him to be accountable. I mean, his response to this was to post Nazi puns. So it's like, not only is he a piece of shit who doesn't go, like, he could have gone, fuck, he could have said anything and I got overwhelmed. I didn't mean that. I was, I felt like I had love in my heart and I wanted to show that to the world, but because my dad didn't hug me enough and he told me I wasn't fucking cool and wasn't a man, I wanted to blow a kiss, but I panicked because then I knew my daddy would be like, that's fucking no son of mine, you homo, queer, gay boy with your boobs. So I did the chest. He could have said anything. He made Nazi puns. So he tried to make light of a situation by just doing shitty jokes. Do you know how fucking shitty of a human you have to be a billionaire who is using some of your money to further technology progress, arguably, and still be so hated because you can't just fucking keep your mouth shut? Like, how much attention do you need that, like, having money, getting access to whatever you want isn't enough, that you also need to be like, look at me. The guy he's supposed to be in charge of government efficiency and he's on a website making puns? That's good. That's fucking, oh, is that the merit you're talking about when you take away equal opportunity? Is like, this guy earned it. No, he didn't. I can't fucking, I'm so mad. I don't even know if any of this makes sense. There was an article with his dad. Elon Musk's dad, Errol Musk, which I can't say the name Errol without thinking it's the name of an owl because of Harry Potter, and now I just picture Elon Musk's dad as some version of Owl from Winnie the Pooh because my brain works in cartoons. But he's like, this is ridiculous. He called it rubbish. It's rubbish that people are even talking about it. And then said other political leaders have done it with no consequence, to no fanfare. Nothing has been said about it. Who? Who has done that and it's been fine? And the media hasn't gone in uproar. Other than, I don't know, Adolf Hitler, and that's because he was killing journalists that disagreed with him. My mind is just, I'm so fucking pissed. Like, the fact that, like, the fact that there are people who were pro-Trump because of, I'll say, maybe what was reasonable for their economic and family and location and religious belief situations, but could look at that and not go, oh yeah, he shouldn't have done that. What the fuck was that, dude? Like, you're supposed to, what, this guy's supposed to be on your team, and you're not going to go, hey, maybe don't do that? You're just like, sometimes people are Nazis. What? You should at least be like ragging on him as a friend, as a fan, as a person who supports him but doesn't want the people you support to act like fucking idiots. Imagine that was your dad. He has 11 kids, by the way. 11 kids, one of whom doesn't claim him, changed her last name. She's transgender. Probably why he changed Twitter to X. Just to, I don't know. I read an article that said, like, he tried to sell off his belongings because she was anti-capitalist, and then she still wasn't down for it. So he's like, oh, fuck you. Boo-hoo. And now what? He swung the entire different way? By the way, he used to donate to Democrats, and that same article I read with his dad being like, this is rubbish, said that he thinks Elon started going more right-wing because he didn't get an invite to some event that was at the White House for, like, cars, for electric cars, and other companies did, and he felt snubbed. And it's like, yeah, maybe you were snubbed because you suck. Maybe. It's like, hey, he has made an okay product. An okay product. Remember when he tried to show the fucking bulletproof windows and they shattered immediately? Or maybe the point of whatever you didn't get invited to was to showcase to people, hey, there are these other brands doing this. Maybe, I don't know, I'll put it out there. Maybe the thought was, let's get some brands that are more familiar to the working class American who's going, I want no electric car. I don't want this technology robot bullshit. Maybe it was to go, hey, there's other options, which I get from a business standpoint why you'd be like, hey, why'd you leave me the fuck out of this? But it was, I don't know. This part is complete made up bullshit speculation. But to have your feelings hurt so much that you're like, I guess I'll just become a Nazi. I'll show you. Yeah, okay. Fucking bitch tits. I'm sick of it. I fucking hope one of his kids just fucking dumps him in the ocean. I mean, the man has a kid named like beep beep boop boop. He's a fucking idiot. Like, we're putting this guy in charge of anything. And listen, I realize I'm giving him the attention that he wants. Not from me specifically. He will likely never hear this. In general, the man obviously has some sort of desperate need, some fucking gaping hole. I mean, it's villain level psychopathy, the amount of things he's aspiring to and doing. Like, he's either not a human, which, I mean, fucking hilarious. Imagine a robot man with tits and his belly hanging out of his shirt. It's just like, this is the forefront of technology, which, I mean, would make sense with the amount of his fucking aircraft and spaceships that fucking explode. By the way, nobody's talking about that. Maybe that was the plan all along. SpaceX Starship, or whatever the fuck, they sent up a rocket and it blew up. Didn't make it out of the atmosphere. Exploded. They had to shut down flights over the Gulf of Mexico. Excuse me, the Gulf of America. What is the renaming bullshit? Trump's like, and we're going to rename things. This is the Gulf of America. Okay, well, your head of government efficiency, the guy that's supposed to make things more efficient, shut down flights over the Gulf of whatever the fuck you want to call it. Real efficient, you dumbass. So maybe this was a fucking Hail Mary where he's like, I know. I don't want people to be worried about SpaceX and try to take away all of my government contracts or rebel against that, since I'm trying to not low-key move the private sector into government, like more into government dealings. I don't know what the word I'm trying to say is. So I'll do a Nazi salute. And that'll take the heat off of the rocket and put it on me. I think that's best case scenario, is that was a logical decision to distract. Best case scenario is the guy who is trying to run a department of our government was like, I know what I'll do to distract them from an explosion of trash, space trash in the sky, which, by the way, filled with mock satellites. And I don't know if that means it was just a weight thing for the mock satellites, or were you just going to launch more space garbage into the fucking sky? We're littering space. Do you know how fucking disgusting that is? And his logic was, well, gotta take eyes off of this. I guess I'll just throw up a Sieg Heil. I guess it was a Sieg Heil Mary, huh? Yeah, I can do them too. I can do shitty puns. But I am not going to put it on the internet and think I'm cool. This is fucking like that shitty rich kid in 90s movies tropes of a human as a 53-year-old man. He has children. And again, I just want to say, imagine Elon Musk is your dad. How fucking embarrassing. How embarrassing. And someone out there, probably a redneck who lives in the woods, who thinks one day Elon's going to knock on his door and give him $1 million and be like, see, I worked hard. Bootstraps. He's like, dude, you would think it was cool. If that was your dad, you'd be like, he's cool. He runs Tesla. I don't care what anyone's parents do. Almost all of us go through a phase where we are embarrassed by our parents. And if we don't, people who are never embarrassed by their parents, they have arrested development. They never grow up. They fucking live in their parents' house or live off their parents' money, and they just go, Mom and Dad are cool. I'm not saying that the embarrassment is deserved. It's part of a teenage experience, but like, imagine that's your dad. You go to school and it's like, hey, I remember when the worst thing that could happen to someone is so-and-so's mom is hot. And now it's like, oh, hey, Boobs' dad is a fucking Nazi. And everyone knows. Imagine having to be bullied in middle school because your dad is a public, dumb Nazi who can't get enough attention, is making puns on the internet. You know when your dad makes a joke in front of like a handful of your friends and you go, oh my God, Dad, no. He's doing that every day on the internet. Every day. I got fired from a nonprofit because of my Twitter. That's not true. I don't know if I definitely played into it. I definitely got written up. Made him a ton of money. Millions of dollars. Made a company millions of dollars, and they had to let me go. That's neither here nor there. Thank God it happened, because now I get to do comedy. Now I get to comment on the world around us, and there's just so much to comment on. SpaceX builds garbage spaceships. They're the fucking lemons of the sky. Get them out of there. I don't know what else to tell you. There was so much I wanted to talk about. Oh, by the way, the fucking article with Elon's dad, he's like, he wouldn't do something like that. Our family has ties to the Jewish community through my grandfather. Elon's dad really was like, our grandfather, his great-grandfather knew a Jew. What? All this to say, for those of you out there working your ass off and you cannot get ahead and you feel held down by the man, or you're doing okay, but it's just fucking always something. There's always a bill. There's always a thing popping up. if you have moments where because of your financial state, maybe there's some rich prick who has a kid on the same baseball team as your kid, and he comes in his fucking Porsche because he divorced his wife, and he fucking talks about like, I don't even fucking know, bullies your kids but in a fun way, and he's like, yeah, you fucking gotta work hard, whatever. I don't know. Please come back to this story, this situation, anytime you find yourself feeling for some reason insecure, especially inferior, especially intellectually inferior to someone because of how much money they have. I think if nothing else, we can all take away from this. Money does not equate to intelligence. We go, that person's smart. They're going to be rich. That person's rich. Oh, they're in the tech field. They must be really smart. No, he had money and he made more money because that's what you can do when you have fucking generational wealth. You can pay people who are smarter than you, probably a good amount of money, to do things to make you more money. And if you're Elon Musk, you can present them as if you're a fucking brilliant genius and you've made everything that you've put your stupid fucking company name on. Ugh. People had sex with that guy. That's so fucking gross. Even if you're friends with him, someone should say something. And I don't know if that is actually a product of like the woke mind virus. Is like, well, you know, we stopped telling people when they were fucking up because we didn't want to offend anyone. Is that what happened? That's what it seems like. It seems like his friends are so woke they don't want to call him out when he does a really fucking stupid thing. I don't know. There was other shit I wanted to talk about, but like what else is there to say? Oh, the renaming of fucking... Okay, here's what else I want to say. There were so many people... I can't take it. Earlier this week, like Tuesday, my Instagram feed was blowing up with people being like, oh my God, the president and the VP Trump and JD, whatever the fuck, couch fucker guy, and the first lady, they forced us to follow them. I never followed Melania. I never followed Trump, and now I'm following. What's going on, Instagram? Everyone was suddenly a fucking conspiracy theorist sleuth, when the reality is, hey, fucking dum-dum, if you're this angry about the politician you're following, my logic can only tell me you were probably jerking off to the Democratic Party when they were in office, which means you were following POTUS when it was Joe Biden. The account changed because the president changed. Just fucking unfollow them. I cannot believe how many people that didn't occur to, that woke up and were just like, oh my God, and now Instagram, because Mark Zuckerberg's in bed with Trump and now he's forcing us to follow the... And the fact checking, yeah, that's shitty. It was nice when Facebook would go, hey, this actually might be false. That was nice. But if people can't be bothered to take a second and go, is this true? We're fucked anyway. We're so fucked. The renaming, that's what I wanted to say. There was like a slew of... They're trying to fucking take Greenland? Why? What is in Greenland that we need other than land because we're burning ours to the ground? And probably more than we know because they're probably setting off bombs places to test for a war nobody needs to have. Nobody wants to have. Oh, the aliens are coming? Shut the fuck up, Space Force. That was such a deranged fucking... I don't even know what the word is. Thought, word association, ramble. I'm just so mad. But this is specifically for my Alaskans. Because I read that Trump is changing Denali's official name back to Mount McKinley. Because it dishonors the hard work President McKinley did to call it Denali, which is a native name. And apparently it got changed to Denali in 2015. And if you want to hear about things that a president is wasting their time on that do not fucking matter, other than he's trying to maybe spark outrage, like he thinks he did 100 things because he's like, what else will the news run with? I left Alaska in 2005. And to my knowledge, we always called it Denali. I didn't know that there was a presidential formal renaming. Frankly, I think the original doing of that feels like a little bit of a jerk-off session. No one I know in Alaska has ever been like Mount McKinley. So much so that I forgot that it was called Mount McKinley. Like I was like, oh yeah, I guess it's Denali, Mount McKinley, because Denali is also the name of the national park that it is in. So I just sort of lumped them together. But when I was in high school, the car everyone wanted was not a car, it was a fucking SUV. It had just come out. GMC Denali. I think it was either Suburban Denali Edition or it was just called a Denali. We're just renaming things for no reason. Also, you don't have anything better to do. Why do you rename Elon Musk's kid that's named after a computer chip or whatever the fuck? Probably all of his kids. I didn't look up their names. I can't handle it. I already suffered through Sarah Palin's kids' names. Trip and Trigger and Tart or whatever. What is that? Bristol? Willow? Is Willow even one of them? I don't know. I did read that an island in Italy is offering homes to Americans for €1. They're fixer-uppers. You have to fix it and you have to start a business there. But what if we just all go to Italy? What if we all just fucking give a big fat Roman fart to our government? Also, people think it's a Roman salute. I mean, if you look at the timeline, it's post the fall, but it's like Rome, the place that famously fell, where we go, the fall of Rome. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. I can't tell. And this is maybe this is privilege. I don't know. I can't tell how in danger anyone really is at this point and how much is just a fucking circus. I truly can't. And I hate that we may not know until it gets worse. And man, it could all this could be it. It could just be 4 years of actually most of us are totally fine, but we're outraged all the time. So we're not fine because we're spiking up our cortisol levels reading the news. What I should stop doing is reading the news. But it's like inescapable. If I'm not reading it, someone's telling me about it. Everyone's sharing it because we feed off of outrage is what it is. I mean, imagine, what if we all just banded together and for a day, a week, a month, more, shut the fuck up about it? What if we just didn't talk about it? It'd probably get worse, honestly. These men need so much fucking attention that they probably actually would do something bad instead of doing symbolistic fucking bullshit. I mean, someone will hear that and go, he did do something bad. He fucking executive ordered this and he shut down this. And yeah, sure, of course. But Congress has time to fucking come up with ways to flip that. Will they? Who knows? I don't want to be talking about political shit. I want to talk about fucking silly shit. And here I am yelling. And by the way, another fire broke out in LA. You've all seen it by now if you see the news. If you're like me and wouldn't watch it, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if I wasn't in entertainment in California if I would know about the fires. And that's crazy. I think maybe, like, if I was for some reason still in Tampa, it would have come up once, these fires. I'm like, that's crazy. And I would have forgotten about them. But now I lie awake, oscillating between doing a Wordle and checking watch duty to be like, is another one breaking out? And I had a dream that I looked at the app. Not that there was fire descending upon me. Not an actual, like, vivid nightmare. The nightmare was I looked at the app and we were surrounded by fire. But, like, I don't know. It's burning. It's snowing in New Orleans, which I gotta be honest. I would love to actually be in New Orleans with some snow. How fucking cute is that? And my heart broke for New Orleans earlier this year with that horrific terrorist attack. Is that what are we calling it, a terrorist attack? Psychopath? It is weird. I don't want to. It is weird that on the same day, two guys who were active military did very different demonstrations. The guy blowing himself up in the Tesla, in front of the Trump Tower, symbolic. I'm gonna get that tattooed on my lower back. Just that fucking Tesla blazing, and I'm sure that will be used as eventually pro Tesla advertisements of. Thank God Tesla's so strong that no one else was injured. Blah, 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 blah. But the fucking psychopath tried. I finally saw a video of it because they did a in memoriam to someone before one of the football games this week that Nate was watching, and it was just like this very in detail thing about one guy who I don't know how he was related to any of the teams playing. I think he just played football somewhere and they happened to be playing in New Orleans. So they were like, let's do this. But I saw footage of the guys zooming by. I didn't see people get hit. I saw a girl almost get hit in this fucking video. Just horrific. And I thought that would be the worst thing that happened this year, especially this month. I thought, fuck. I wanted to, like, my heart was like, can I go to New Orleans? Can I rebuild New Orleans? And it's like, there's nothing to rebuild. People are dead. Fucking good luck rebuilding your heart when you lose someone you love. It destroys you. And that sounds callous, but it's like, but those situations where, like, you want to do something, it's apples to oranges, but, like, at least in California, we're able to put that energy toward helping people. Does that? I shouldn't even be saying that, but it just fucking sucks. Like, you don't think you're gonna get back to back to back bullshit right away. And I know the calendar is made up. Time is a social construct. We've created it, but, like, I don't have any recollection now of having that New Year's fucking here we go, let's hit the ground running positivity. And I know I did because I keep doing this podcast, which was a New Year's thing to, like, get more consistent with it. And I have been, and I'm fucking clinging to it. Thank you guys for listening, by the way. I'm holding on by a thread, and I am like, this is my outlet. I gotta get on stage. It's been a couple of days. Seriously, I'm fucking losing it. I don't know what else to say. There was something else I wanted to say, and then I derailed. Oh, it was just that New Orleans was probably very cute with snow. And they could use a fucking wash down of all the... Well, I was just going to say trash and dirt and muck that gets on the streets from all the partying, but... Well, won't finish that thought. But you probably finished it too. So it's fine. Listen. I want to come to London. I'm looking for a venue. Is anyone listening from London? Can you send me recommendations for a small venue? 50 to 150 seats. I'm going on a cruise later this year with my mom. Please pray for me. In June. think some of my aunts will be there, but we're going on a cruise that leaves out of London, so I want to do a show there before I go. So please let me know. Listen, what are you guys doing? Is anyone self-caring? I don't even know. I'm like trying to eat healthy. I'm not counting macros. I'm keeping unhealthy food out of my house because right now all I want to do is eat my feelings because the world's on fire. And then even like I worked out the other day in our gym, but I'm paranoid about that. Even though the like windows are closed, people come in and out. And again, I know we said it on the episode with Nate, but like there's not smoke in the air that you can see. There's not like visible ash. But now there's even more toxins in the air because of this fucking new fire, huge fire. So I get like, oh, should I not be working out? I'm supposed to play soccer on Sunday. Should I not be doing that? I don't know. And like, I can't find clear information. It's also the information says that the water in my area is fine, but then Nate pointing out, well, they're not going to say everything's bad because it would cause mass hysteria. Is like, okay, well then is our water fucked up, but they're not saying that because mass hysteria? Like, if something is massively wrong, there should be mass hysteria, in my opinion. Like, am I wrong? Anyway, what a hoot we're having. Listen, if you're still listening, my God, I hope you have ibuprofen or an Excedrin. Excedrin in a Mountain Dew, as my Mississippi doctor used to tell me for migraines. That's how you fix them. Most Mississippi medical information I'll never forget. I do have a very silly episode coming on Monday. Silly and a little heartwarming, but like it's Dana Moon. So, we're getting fucking crazy. So look out for that. You guys, thank you for continuing to listen. I have read the few compliments that people have sent in the Facebook group about the episode with Nate, and he is running with them. I mean, he's joking around, but he's really fucking being like my fans, the Nader Nation. And a couple people said that they would love to hear him back on. So head over to the Facebook group. It's linked in the show notes. It's called Idiots because that's what I lovingly call all of you guys. I call myself that. Obviously, if you've listened to this episode, it's pretty clear I think everyone is that, at least at some point. Get in there. You can share who you're vibing with. If you have questions, if you wish I would have talked more about something else, want to hear what I think about XYZ situation, and I could use that, bring that up in a solo episode. And what I think I'm going to do, because I do want to have sort of a database, Rolodex, stable, that's a gross word, just sort of a core of some recurring guests that you guys really love. So I'm going to try to find some way to poll, like a polite, just who is your favorite this month type thing. That way it's not negative. We don't have to say who our least favorite was. But that way I can get a feel for not only who you guys like, but what kind of fodder combo you're vibing with. Because I know I go all over the map. But like, there's stuff you like that I like doing anyway. Be good to know that if I lean into that, it's not going to hurt. All right, listen, I'm going to go. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being patient with my ignorance. Godspeed being patient with everyone's ignorance. And remember, most people are doing the best they can with what they have. But some people are too rich to have consequences. So they've just gone off the hinges and are acting like fucking idiots. And nobody says anything because they want the rich guy to like them. Come on, rich guy, be my friend. You're so cool, rich guy. Yeah, no, that's not a Nazi salute. He was waving to Jesus. All right. I'm out. I'm fucking done. Well, there you go, idiots. That concludes this week's episode of Ignorance is Blessed. If you want to hear any bonus portions of any episode, head over to punchup.live/JMS to hear and or watch those. If you have questions, comments, concerns on anything myself or a guest said, you can voice them over in the Facebook group. It's called Idiots. Find it at facebook.com/JMS Comedy. It's linked right there on my page. You can also suggest guests, interact with other fans of the show. It's a good time. Come on by. Also, if you haven't yet, please, please, please leave a rating and a review for the podcast. It helps me out big time. And if you like this guest, make sure you go follow them on all their social media. Okay, well, I guess I'll see you next time. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being patient with my ignorance. See you soon, idiots.